Good morning, my name is Roxy Martínez, and today I will be talking to you about how students of color both sustain and then create identities within maker education. Our students, our youth of color, navigate worlds that tell them that their home identities and their school identities have to be kept separate. And in fact, their ability to do that is essential for their success in education. Does the maker movement contribute to these tensions? Yes. Traditionally, the maker movement has positioned itself as an intellectual gatekeeper, akin to other Western ed systems that we're all familiar with, and has the potential to reproduce harmful hierarchies. Is it inevitable that the maker movement reproduce these hierarchies? Absolutely not. But unchecked and unchallenged, it will. Because unchecked biases and deficit-oriented mindsets make students of color targets for intervention and framed as people needing to be saved. To counter these narratives, educators must honestly address and combat systemic oppression and the historical effects on youth of color. Only then can we begin to design equitable outcomes in education. First, we need to examine our own biases and challenge dominant narratives with our students' voices at the forefront. And then together, we can challenge and critically examine injustice within education. We can create lessons and recognize our students and their experiences and the cultural wealth of their communities. Using Maker as a framework, we can demonstrate how to question systems that we live in and encourage our students to see themselves as the wielders of immense knowledge and power. Instead of perpetuating deficit-oriented beliefs, what we can do is we can actively recognize youth of color as the descendants of innovative, dynamic peoples with deep wells of knowledge and skills from their own communities. Yeah. And thinking routines like parts, purposes, complexities can add for structured examination of the way things are made and for our students to see the complexities and the innovation people of color, makers of color have contributed to our world. Through these thinking routines, youth of color gain opportunity to examine, question, and challenge systems that we all know have been historically inequitable. And that's where our role is. We have a unique role as educators, and with that, we have a deep responsibility to our youth, and we have to choose culturally sustaining pedagogies. If we do this, we can ensure that our students' identities are honored by purposefully and continually choosing to center our students' experiences and their voices. Maker learning must be responsive to the histories, the needs, and the experiences of youth of color. Identity creation is an ongoing process, but we have to thoughtfully and continually center teaching and learning around culture, power, and equity. And in this, our students become agents of change. This allows for the opportunity for our students to rewrite the dominant narratives about themselves and their communities. And if we do this, the many worlds that I talked about at the beginning that our students navigate, they can merge and become a safe place in which they can revel in the cultural wealth, in the resilience and the resistance that they live every single day. Through colleagues, mentors, and students, I've learned this one truth. Teaching is a political act, and it's essential for the liberation of our students of color. We are not saviors, but it is our duty to hold the mirror up to our students as they empower themselves and as they navigate the worlds that have colonially set them up. Making is a manifestation, it's a proclamation, and it's a celebration of who we are and who we always have been. So as my students at Grass Valley move towards the end of their year and their maker projects, I hope to advocate for my students to uplift their identities, to be forthright in my battle against the deficit-oriented mindsets that they also battle. And I hope that my smile is huge and I hug them warmly as they inspire me and my colleagues to be ourselves.